going to finish this summer off strong with a nice, light, mid-afternoon snack to be enjoyed one last time around the pool this Labor Day weekend. Salmon Rillettes and everything crackers. Let's dive in. This is a salmon fillet. We're going to cut these into smaller pieces. Shape isn't really as important here as size. We just want them all to cook evenly, so make sure they're relatively the same size. Beautiful fillets. We're going to shallow poach this in a bath of white wine. Any kind of wine will do. I actually used leftover bubbles because, well, they were losing their bubbles. So now it's perfect cooking wine. Then add a few cloves of garlic, whole, a shallot, rough chopped, some thyme, salt, and red pepper flakes. Let that come to a slow simmer, then gently drop the salmon into the bath. We're going to let this poach for about 15 minutes or so on low or until the flesh is just starting to firm up. If your liquid doesn't actually fully submerge the salmon, flip them halfway through to make sure they're cooking evenly all around. We want it to slowly cook as so it doesn't overcook or flake too hard later. We want delicate, still vibrant pink flakes from our fish. In the meantime, do a fine chop on the smoked salmon that's listed below in the recipe and set that aside. That's going to be folded in later. When your salmon is tender to the touch and has a slight spring to it, let them cool on some paper towels at room temperature before moving them into the fridge to fully chill. The outside is going to be slightly more cooked than the rest. It's totally okay, and we'll add a nice fun contrast later against the more medium rare parts and that cured smoked salmon. While those are chilling, it's a perfect time to start our crackers. Cracker dough is very forgiving, and when you see how easy this is, it may just be your new favorite snack alternative. Begin with the flour, sugar, and salt in a large bowl, and whisk accordingly. Next, add the water and olive oil mixture, and mix that until it all comes together. When you have these shaggy little pieces, then you have graduated from the bowl to the bench, and you may now knead the rest by hand. Once your dough forms gluten, you'll know this by a slight bounce and push back to the dough when pressed, you are ready for rest. Our rest period is going to be about a 20-minute bench rest. Then, divide the dough into two and start rolling out your dough. Roll the dough into a rectangle by alternating your direction from up and down and left to right. Once we've achieved the desired thickness, we're looking for about a ½ inch here, take your trusty everything bagel seasoning, this can be found at most grocery stores or even ordered online, and sprinkle atop your dough. Notice how I put a little bit of flour down before we started cutting and doing all that other stuff. This is so once we do press our seasoning into our dough here, we are easily able to release this from the surface later without having any issues or overstretching our dough. Using a pizza cutter and a ruler, or your laser vision for that, cut little strips of dough into desired cracker size. Transfer them onto a parchment-lined baking sheet and give them a nice prick with a fork to help release any steam while they are baking. Bake these at 400 degrees for about 18 minutes or until golden brown, and boom, you just made real bakery quality crackers in less than an hour-ish. Alright, back to our fiche. Remove any skin and brownness from our salmon. Don't worry, it's not bad or anything. It's just brown from when the bloodline starts to cook. Totally edible, it doesn't even really have a strong taste, but if you do leave some, it's just going to be less appealing, so let's just take that out. Gently flake your chilled salmon into a mixing bowl. Add your smoked salmon, 1 to 2 tablespoons of your poaching liquid, the zest and juice of 1 lemon, 1 shallot, small diced, some chives, salt, and about a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Give it a nice stir, and back in the fridge she goes. This recipe actually will only get better as it sits, so do this a day ahead for best results if you can. As for the crackers, wow, crushed it. Plate up some delicious rillettes in your favorite dip apparatus. Garnish with additional chives, flaky salt, and lemon zest. And there you go, big guy. Your snack ready. Serve this up at your next event and show people just how fancy you could be. Pinky up. We'll see you next time, friends. Stay hungry.